Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam discussion. Hare Krishna. So today we are doing a special class. Today is a very, very fortunate, very auspicious day known as Bhādra Pūrnimā. It is a full moon day in the month of Bhādra. And there is a very special significance of today. So we will talk about that a little bit later. First, we will start with Mangalacharan prayers, which are prayers to the previous acharyas leading up to Lord Krishna, and requesting the mercy and the blessings of all of those personalities, the acharyas and the Lord himself, to help us to better understand these topics. So you can all follow the Mangalacharan prayers on what we just opened up on the phone. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitya Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Now we will read two verses which are not in that. So if you don't follow along, that's okay. Then we will resume what is there in that with He Krishna Karuna Sindhu. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Now we will start there. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenbandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right. Now, since we are today's evening, as is every Saturday evening here, all about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we will recite three verses which are known as the invocation verses for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So you can repeat after me. That it will be a little hard to tell you where it is exactly. So please repeat after me. And for benefit of those on the Zoom, I will share it on the screen. So so on the Zoom, what we are showing is a picture of Parikshit Maharaj very attentively hearing from Shukadev Goswami, and subsequently all the rishis of Naimisharanya listening very attentively from Shri Suta Goswami. So please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamah shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha. So these are also 3 verses that we sang or recited are from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam first canto, but it's we will go into their meanings. We went into their meanings in a previous many classes, but we will go over them sometime later. So first of all, in the first verse, we said Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. So we request the blessings of these 4 personalities. And in the same spirit, I would like to request the blessings of Jai Sachinandan Prabhu and Bhakti Rasa Mataji, who are my seniors. It's not appropriate for me to sit here and talk in their presence, but with their permission, I will humbly want to continue. Can I do that, Prabhuji? So, thank you. Today, so last time, I can't remember, I think 2 weeks back, last week there was visiting devotee, His Grace Arjun Sakha Prabhu. So we did not have Bhagavatam class, but week before that, we started with the pastime of Maharaj Chitraketu. But today we will not be doing that. Today we will be doing a special ceremony and a class on the installation of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So today is a very, very auspicious day known as Bhādra Pūrnimā. And for benefit of those on the Zoom, I will turn the camera this side. And you can see here that they have the hosts, Ashish Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji here have very nicely made the wise decision to invite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in their house. So can you see? Yes. So here on the table, you can see the 18 books which are divided amongst 12 cantos. Skandha is the Sanskrit word, Skandha. And 18 books, because 10th canto is very big. If it was made into one book, it would be that thick. And the binding would kind of, split open if you were to read it. You can't even read properly. So that's why it has been split. And some of the other cantos, like 4th canto, 3rd canto, and 11th canto are very big. So, that's how it becomes. 3 cantos become 2 books, so 3 extra books, and 10th canto becomes 4 books, so 3 extra books. So 3 plus 3 extra books makes it 6 extra books. 12 cantos, 12 plus 6 makes it 18 books, right? So that's how the arithmetic goes. So we see 18 books, 12 cantos here, and we will see the significance of today, significance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, why we are doing this elaborate sort of a ceremony or a gathering to invite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is none other than Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So when we invite Bhagavan Shri Krishna, we do it with some kind of a ceremony. When a big person comes to your home, you just don't leave the door unlocked and you sit in your bedroom. Whenever he comes, he can himself go take water and take rest. You invite him, you sit at the door, you give a red carpet welcome if he is a very big person. That's why you see here red, kind of a table cover. So for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it's like with lot of respect, with lot of fanfare, because a big person is coming in the house. And that big person is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the literary incarnation. It is the book form of Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna can take any form. He can take the form of a fish. He can take the form of tortoise. And he can take form which we have never seen. Half man, half lion. Has anybody seen half man, half lion in the material world? Probably not. But he can take that form. So he can take so many forms. He can take the form of a book also. And I will explain a little bit on the significance of why he takes the form of the book. So today is a very, very auspicious day. You can invite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Bhagwan can come any day in the house. But there are some special days when, like you can worship Lord Krishna any day, but worshipping on Janmashtami day is special because it's his birthday. Just like your child, if you love your child, you can give him cake and ice cream any day. But giving it ice cream and cake on the birthday is nice. He likes it even more, and you like it even more, right? So that is the thing today. So now I would like to request all those who are not very familiar to take out again their smartphones and go to the same website, vedabase.io. So your smartphone the main page should look like this, something like this, vedabase.io. Or you can do vedabase.com, it will go to that. Okay. And then this time you click on the second one, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay. So then it will show you the 12 books. It will show you 12 pictures. Go to the last one, 12th. Canto 12, it says the age of deterioration. Click on that one, the purple one, the age of deterioration. Now we don't have the screen, and today we expect a lot of devotees. Otherwise, usually there would be a TV screen and you don't have to do it on your smartphone. But today your smartphone is your TV screen. And then you go to the last. So we went on the last book, 12th book. Go to the last chapter of the last book, chapter 13, the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Are you there? And then go to the 13th verse. Verse number 13. All right. Are you all there? So I will, for the benefit of the devotees joining on the Zoom, I will share my screen here to show the same thing. So we will go to Canto 12, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 13, verse 13. 12, 13, 13. Okay, 12, 13, 13. So let us see what is the significance of today. So, are you all there? Do you see the first word as Praushthapadyam? If you see that, then you are on the right page. You have to click on the 12, 13, 13, text 13. It's a clickable link. You click on that. Are you all there? Praushthapadyam? Yes. All right. So let us recite, like we recited the 3 verses, we will recite this. Today we are going to do some recitation of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We should be I feel very fortunate that in this material world, dark age, where everybody is just thinking about themselves and thinking also very short term, immediate benefit, not long-term benefit. Even if they think about themselves, if they think about their long-term benefit, then they are called intelligent. One who thinks just short-term benefit is not so intelligent. So we should feel very fortunate that we are getting the most long-term benefit by reciting the words of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Reciting these verses is, today we were doing the Rath Yatra and we were distributing books, little pamphlets, books. So many people would you like a book? They say, oh no, I'm good. And or we would try to give a banana. Would you like a banana? Oh no, I'm good. Some of them, some took it. So the point is that nothing wrong. They can do that. They may not know, there may be, they may not be aware. But the point is that it is very, very rare that we are able to do this. One should not take it like for granted. So being able to read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, speak it, understand it, contemplate on it is something that is very, very rare. So please take this as I should take it as with a mood of gratitude to the Lord that I was able to do this in this life. Okay. So we will recite this and then we will read the translation. Praushthapadyam Purnamasyam Hema Simha Samanvitam Dadati Yo Bhagavatam Sayati Paramam Gatim. So Praushthapadyam Purnamasyam. So you understand Purnamasi? What is Purnamasi? Full moon day. Praushthapadyam means of the month of Praushtha, another name for Bhādra. Padyam is month, Praushtha is Bhādra month. So on the Purnamasi, the full moon day of the month of Bhādra, Hema Simha Samanvitam. Okay, so Hema means gold, Simha means lion. But here in this context, Simha is a short form for Singhasan. You all understand Simhasan? A throne. So a throne made of gold. Simha, Hema Simha. Samanvitam means put or kept. So something is going to be kept on a golden throne on the full moon day of Bhadra month. Are you following so far? What is that something? Dadati yo Bhagavatam. If somebody gives to someone this Bhagavatam in this way, by putting it on a throne of gold on the full moon day of Bhadra, Sayati Paramam Gatim. That person goes to the Paramam Gatim. He goes to the highest destination. That highest destination, this Paramam Gatim, is referred many times in Bhagavad Gita also. And Lord Krishna says, Yad Gatva na nivartante, tad dhamam paramam mama. That destination, this Paramam Gatim, is that destination where once one goes, does not return. This is the spiritual world. So, like this, and you can, it's not, just that you can gift it to someone else, you can gift it to yourself. Srila Prabhupada says charity begins at home. So first you have to be charitable to yourself, then you can be charitable to others also. So that is the meaning of this verse. Srila Prabhupada's translation. Anybody has that verse open on their smartphone? Can you read, Mataji, the translation? Loud and clear.
If on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam on a golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination.
Thank you. Transcendental destination, Paramam Gatim. So that is the benefit of today. So we do this Bhagavatam installation ceremony on other days, but you can see the significance of today as well. Today is that Bhādra Pūrnimā day, happens to be today. So that is the significance of today. So what is the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Now many people, when they say, oh yes, I know about Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna spoke it to Arjuna before the Mahabharata war. So, no, that is not Bhagavatam, that is Bhagavad Gita. So you all understand the difference between Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? So Bhagavad Gita is the one that was spoken on the battlefield to Arjuna, not Bhagavatam. But there is commonality also. Commonality, so what is the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? It was spoken by Shukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. And it was not on a battlefield, but there was an internal battle going on in the mind or in the heart of the listener. Just like Bhagavad Gita was spoken to resolve a very great internal conflict in the heart of the listener. What was the internal conflict in the heart of the listener? Yes, William Prabhu. To fight or not to fight. Because Arjuna was facing his most dear friends, uncles, grandfathers on the other side. Bhishma is somebody who he loved most. I don't want to say equal to or more or less, but almost I would say equal to or more than his four brothers. Bhishma Pitamaha was so dear to Arjuna. Dronacharya, it is written in Mahabharata that for Dronacharya, Arjun was more dear to Dronacharya than his own son Ashwatthama. He taught him with not only all the mantras, but he taught him with love. He taught all the mantras to Ashwatthama also, but that was because of more of a material attachment for a son. And he ended up misusing all that knowledge. But Arjuna, he taught him with so much love, and Arjun was so much in love with his dear teacher, with his dear guru, Dronacharya. And he was being asked to kill him in battle. So that was the internal conflict of Arjuna. In the same way, the commonality is that Parikshit Maharaj also had a great internal conflict. And what was the internal conflict of Parikshit Maharaj? Yes, he knows he's going to die in 7 days. Arjun more or less was assured of victory. He was not more or less, he was certain of victory because Bhagwan was on his side. So in that sense, he was assured. But just speaking materially, you're going in a battle, you have a 50-50 chance, let us say, that you come out alive or dead. Here, Parikshit Maharaj has been cursed. It is sure that he is going to die in 7 days. So his internal conflict was, what should I do in these 7 days? What is the best use I can make of these 7 days? And that is how Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam begins. And Arjuna had a great guru to guide him, which was Bhagwan Shri Krishna himself. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj found a great guru. Because he had a great desire, the guru found him. So, that's also what happens. When you have great desire, the guru arrives at the doorstep. Literally arrives at the doorstep. And that is exactly what happened in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, that it is written in Bhagavatam that all stars aligned and the greatest Acharya of the time, Sri Shukadev Goswami, happened to arrive right at that place at the right time to give the right instructions to the right disciple, which is Parikshit Maharaj. So it was also a time of great conflict, internal conflict in the mind. So both of these books or these Shastra, Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, were spoken at a time of great conflict, internal conflict. And we also have similarly conflicts in our life. But we have little conflicts, small conflicts. Our life is not so, nobody knows here they are definitely going to die in 7 days, hopefully. And nobody is going to enter into a war, especially a war where you love your enemy so much. So, but we do have little bit conflict in our life, and therefore we must make the best use, as they say, make hay while the sun shines. Don't wait for the day when the doctor gives you, oh, you have 3 months to live. You have this terminal cancer, stage 4, 3 months. Sometimes you get only 2 weeks. So don't wait for that day. Make hay while the sun shines and read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then you have more time to understand. We are not so intelligent like Parikshit Maharaj. He could understand and internalize within 7 days. We need more time. We have that time, fortunately, in our hand. Let us understand it before we are given that death sentence. And sometimes death arrives without giving any sentence. Bang, gone. So in a moment, death may arrive. And sometimes, one lives a very peaceful, happy, materially opulent life, and death arrives very peacefully, like hopefully it arrived for Queen Elizabeth, led the life of a queen and passed away very peacefully, so to say. But she also had conflicts in her life. Her son, daughter-in-law kind of got divorced, and then grandson, had all these problems, and so many, you can't say that even the kings and queens don't have problems. They also have problems. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the solution to all problems. So this is what Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is, or has the potential to do in our lives. Now this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is divided into 12 cantos, and in each of the cantos, so Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is an expansion of Bhagavad Gita. The message in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is exactly the same as Bhagavad Gita. There is no difference in the essence. But Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam explains it when somebody has more time. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days. Arjun really didn't have 7 days. The whole battle could be over in, got over in 18 days. So he did not have 7 days to have a discussion whether to fight for the next 18 days or not. So he wanted quick answers, and he was a great student, and he could understand it in 1 hour. But Parikshit Maharaj understood it in great detail. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam explains it through the medium of stories, through the medium of conversations and discussions, lot of question answer between the student and the teacher, which all of us also have those questions. And then on top of that, the acharyas give detailed commentaries to help us understand the meaning and the purport of the text of the Shastra. So the first canto is devoted exclusively to how to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. What was the conflict? And the conflict is explained very beautifully, that Lord Krishna was about to depart. The whole thing is building up to the point that Bhagwan Shri Krishna is about to depart this universe. His job is done. The Mahabharat war is over. He goes back, and then he is about to depart. His job is done. And all the devotees of the Lord are becoming vigilant. Vigilant means anxious. What will happen to us once the Lord departs? The Lord is our backbone. He is our life and soul. So once he departs, what will happen to us? They all themselves get ready to depart. So the Pandavas, they actually depart. They give the throne to Parikshit Maharaj. They make him the king, and they go to the Himalayas, and they renounce everything, and then they depart, go back to the spiritual world. So like that, all the devotees are departing because Lord Krishna is departing. Bhishma Dev's departure is so nicely explained in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, how wonderfully he departs. Some depart just before Lord Krishna departs, some depart a little bit after, like the Pandavas. And the departure of Lord Krishna himself is described. And then there is one devotee, Uddhavji, who is also a great, great, great devotee of the Lord. He's also getting very anxious. He's saying, you are going, what is my purpose now? So Lord Krishna gives him a special purpose, saying that, don't worry, that I am leaving. I am leaving, that's okay, but I will stay in this world as my book incarnation. I am going to arise as a book. He arose in the Karagraha, in the jail, right? As the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. So that is when Bhagwan Krishna arose. He is saying that similarly, I am going to arise, but this time in the book form. So don't think I am gone. I will stay here throughout Kali Yuga as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And this time I will arise not from Devaki and Vasudev, but through the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. So that is how I will arise. And your job is to go and speak this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to the rishis of Badrikashram. And through many, many means it was transmitted. When Shukadev Goswami spoke, Parikshit Maharaj listened. So many other rishis, including Narad Muni, including Vyasadev, who taught it to Shukadev Goswami. Sometimes the teacher teaches to a student and student becomes more expert. And then the teacher has to sit and listen from the student. So there is like, reversal that occurs. So Vyasadev was listening from Shukadev Goswami. And similarly, Suta Goswami was listening from Shukadev Goswami. And then, like this, it kept on descending. And finally, it is reaching us through our dear acharyas like Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas who have written wonderful commentaries on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So that is what is the content of Canto 1. How Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is coming down, for what purpose, and how we should accept it. We should accept it with a mood of crisis, with that mood that yes, our life is also not unlimited, is not infinite, and we should make use of it, like make hay while the sun shines. And then through very wonderful conversations and stories and philosophical discussions, for example, in Canto 3, there is this great wonderful discussion of the killing of Hiranyaksha demon by Varahadev. In the Dash avatar, Lord Varaha is the third avatar. And then there is a very deep philosophical discussion of between Kapila Muni and his mother Devahuti. In the 4th canto, so I'm going through a little faster now, there is the wonderful story, among others, there's a lot more, the story of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva is a little boy, probably as younger than this boy, and how he also has a material crisis, that he was kind of not loved by his father, and he becomes so agitated by that he wants a kingdom bigger than his father's kingdom. So he goes and prays to Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu appears, and instead of asking for a kingdom, he forgets in the presence of Lord Vishnu that he came here, he did all this tapasya for a kingdom. He forgets all that and becomes a pure devotee. There is also a great story, allegory of one king by the name of Puranjana, which is very accurately reflecting the story of our life, how we wander across this world rejecting God or ignoring God. And then what happens? Then in the 5th canto, there is this wonderful story of Bharat Maharaj, how he was a great devotee, a great yogi, a great personality, but at the end of his life, he became attached to a pet deer. Many of people have pets, and they are very attached to pets. So in his last moment of death, instead of thinking about Bhagavan, he was thinking about the pet deer. So he became a deer in the next life. So, but he became a special deer. He could remember his past life. And then in the 3rd life, after the deer's life, he becomes another great devotee by the name Jada Bharat. And this time he does not make any such mistake of becoming attached to anybody else, and goes back to the spiritual world with Bhagavan. Then in the Canto 6, which is one of my favorite cantos, is the story of Ajamil. And there the very deep glory or the significance or importance of taking the name of the Lord is explained. How important it is to just utter the name of the Lord, whether it is Narayana or Hari or Krishna or Govinda or any name. How important it is and how significant, how potent it is. I cannot explain the depth in just 1 or 2 sentences. So it is that story is very, very impactful. And then there is the story of Chitraketu Maharaj, which we are doing, and then Vritrasur, who Chitraketu Maharaj becomes Vritrasur, a demon, but a devotee. Continuing to Canto 7, we see another demon who is a great devotee. In fact, he is the greatest devotee Not only among demons, but among all people, he's considered one of the greatest devotees, who is Prahlad, whose father happened to be a real greatest demon. So greatest demon versus greatest devotee. Baap bete ki jodi. Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. Greatest demon versus greatest devotee. And guess who wins? The devotee wins. And there are so many instructions in this story that just to fulfill the word of the devotee, the Lord bends backwards. Hiranyakashipu asks his son, is God in this pillar? You all know, right? Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev came from a pillar. Prahlad says, yes. Just to keep his word, yes. Hiranyakashipu says, okay, I will test. Let me break the pillar and see if there is God inside. Just to keep his word that my devotee has said that a God is in the pillar, the Lord fulfills that word, his affirmation that there is God in the pillar. And he comes out of the pillar. And there are so many learnings from that story. And then at the end of the 7th canto, there is another beautiful section about Varnashrama Dharma. How the society is divided into 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas, and how we are supposed to live. So most of us are in the Grihastha Ashram, and most of us are in the Varna of Shudras. Just, even though you may say I am a Brahmin, don't get offended. But that is not by birth. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So the Varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra are by your Guna and Karma, not by Janma. So even if you are a born Janma Brahmana, our Acharyas say in Kali Yuga, everybody by Guna and Karma is only a Shudra, because we don't know better. We don't even know how to be a proper Vaishya or a proper Kshatriya or definitely proper Brahmana is a very long shot. So how to live life, but God can be attained even by a Shudra, even by a Grihastha. That is the main point. These are just 4 divisions. God can be attained, God can love, one can love God in any of the Varnas or Ashramas. So that is what is explained in the last part of the 7th canto. 8th canto has the beautiful story of Gajendra, an elephant, who by simply offering a flower to the Lord is able to save himself. Not just save himself from the crocodile materially, but save himself from this material world. The crocodile is just a representation of how the material world how strongly it has clapped us, or clutched us in its teeth. There is also the beautiful story of Bali Maharaj, another demon, great devotee demon. Then in Canto 9, there is the story of another great devotee by the name of Ambarish Maharaj. And there's a beautiful conversation between Durvasa Muni and Lord Narayana. And the Lord reveals his heart for his devotees. Lord Narayan says how dearly he loves his devotees. He says, Aham Bhakta Paradhino. I am bound. I am a subordinate of my devotees. He directly declares, I am completely immobile. I am completely numb, or what should I say? What's the right word? Sevak, or I am completely under the control of my devotees. I cannot do anything. I'm paralyzed. So I cannot help you. Even though I want to help you, I'm paralyzed because I am bound by the love of my devotees. So this is, you can enter into God's mind, how God thinks. What are God's priorities? We can understand through Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And of course, there is story of Lord Ramachandra. And finally, the 10th canto is the most beautiful and the longest and the most important canto, where the authentic biography of Bhagavan Shri Krishna is described in 90 chapters. And Srila Prabhupada has given us a summary of the 10th canto in the form of Krishna book. So we must all read the Krishna book to understand all the Leelas of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and the significance of all those Leelas are given there. Canto 11 contains the Uddhav Gita, and finally Canto 12 contains what is going to happen in Kali Yuga. The deterioration of Kali Yuga is given. And finally, the glories of Kali Yuga are described, of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam are described in the 12th canto. So like this, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is divided, and it has the potential. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was once asked a question, or I don't know exactly in what context he said, but he said, if all the books, all the knowledge in this whole world were to disappear, and I was to save one book, then it would be the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And not only that it is, oh, I have to choose. It's a hard choice between first and second. Which one should I save? Oh, let me just, toss a coin. Oh, I'll save Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. No, there is no second. He says that there is no second to real knowledge. Real knowledge is only available in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So it is a very easy question, a moot question to answer, that which book would you save? Obviously, it is the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If one has the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, all knowledge is available to him. So now we will read some. So this is the significance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the literary or the book incarnation, avatar, Shastra avatar of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And we will see some glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then the Bhagavatam, even though it looks like a book, it is Bhagavan himself, no different than the deity of Bhagavan, Krishna, with a flute and, a peacock feather. So you don't see a flute on the book, you don't see a peacock feather on the book, but it is nonetheless the same. So in that spirit, we will offer bhoga to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We will offer arti to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Bhaktiras Mataji has kindly blessed us with the opportunity to sing arti while she performs arti of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And then we will have kirtan along with it, and then prasad of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So that is how the evening will go. So we will recite some verses from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We will see the significance or the importance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It will be sort of a summary of what we have discussed so far, but again, an opportunity for all of us to relish Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, to taste Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And if you would like, any of you would like to obtain Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in your home, now doing this kind of ceremony, Ashish Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji are very, very devoted and very kind-hearted to do this ceremony. But you can also, if there is difficulties or the means are not there, you don't have to do the ceremony. You can obtain Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in a box, and personally, privately, you can do your own little ceremony and invite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in your home. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is available for anyone in the book form. Now, as you can see, it is available for free online. So, every single thing in that book, paper book, is available online. So you can say that, oh, I'll just read it online. That's also fine. No money is needed. You can read it free online. But it is nice to have a book. You have a physical connection with it, and you can treat. I have seen some people, they open that Veda-based page, put it on the smartphone and do arti also on the smartphone. One would wonder whether the arti is of the smartphone or of but it is all upon the consciousness. Okay, when the smartphone, when the screen becomes black and you don't see Bhagavatam anymore, then, So, but it is the consciousness that matters. So some devotees who don't have the means, they may not have the money or the place, the space or whatever to do that, to keep it, they can do it on the smartphone. That is also fine. The Lord doesn't mind. Lord is Bhavagrahi Janardana. Bhavagrahi Janardana means he looks at the bhav in the heart, not what we are physically doing. Right? When Lord Krishna, he looked at the bhav of Sudama, even though he brought just one little bit of chivda, he accepted that as if it was the biggest Rajbhog. So he looked at the bhav of the devotee, not the price or the richness of the offering. So yes, you can do all that, but it is nice to have a book. And if you would like, you can obtain the whole set of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in your house. Now it costs money to print. It's a big set, as you can see. It costs $250 and it is available in many languages, English, Hindi. They have kindly obtained the Hindi edition and many other Indian languages, Telugu, Tamil, Gujarati, Marathi, so many, Bengali, so many. You can let me know and we can make it available. If you want to taste Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, obviously these days you can just read it online. This is a sort of a sampler, like you go in ice cream shop and you can get a sample, mango flavor or whatever you can taste. So if you want to taste Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, this is available also for $10. And this contains 1/3 of the first canto. So this is just 1/3 of the first canto. Just if you want to read and see what Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam looks like. But you only get the first 8 chapters of the first canto. But this was before internet days and it is still being published. On internet, today you can sample the whole thing, 100%. So anyway, so that is about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So let us recite and read another verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So this time go back to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. You all know how to go to vedabase.com, or if you are on that page, you can click at the top Vedabase link. That in the board at the top of the page there is Vedabase. Just click on that and go back into Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And this time go into Canto 1. Canto 1, Chapter 3. Canto 1, Chapter 3. And you go into text number 40. It's all the way at the end. So Canto 1, Chapter 3. So I will go here on the Zoom also. Vedabase, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse number 40. So we will recite this verse. Are you all there? It starts with Idam Bhagavatam. You see that? Everybody got it? Okay, so please recite. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasti Ayanam Mahat. So, Prabhuji, can you read the translation?
This Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the literary incarnation of God, the Shri Vyaste, the incarnation of God, is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam right here, it says, is the literary incarnation of God. So right here in the Bhagavatam, it is written. All right. The Bhagavatam itself says that Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of God. And it has arisen, it will for the purpose of Kali Yuga. Remember the discussion when Uddhavji was asking, what will happen to all of us if you depart? Bhagwan Shri Krishna says, don't worry. I will be here not in my Shyam Sundar form with a flute and peacock feather, but I will be here in the form of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and everybody in Kali Yuga can get benefit, can get light. Kali Yuga is dark. Would you agree it is dark? Some people may think it's very nice, Queen Elizabeth and the like. Very nice life, very royal life, like they say, born in a silver spoon. But most of us have tasted at some level some distress and misery. So, and many people have tasted more than their fair share of misery. We should feel lucky that we are not in that category. So, Kali Yuga is dark and Bhagavatam gives the light. So we'll go to verse number 43. So please go 3 verses later. 43. Are you there? Okay, so please, we will recite the 43rd verse. Krishne swadhamopagate dharma jnanadibhihi saha kalau nashta drishamesha puranarko dhunodhitaha. Very nice. So Krishne swadham upagate. Krishna swadham. Swadham means Vaikuntha dham. That is his dham, right? Swadham means his dham, his own dham. Swa dham upagate matlab chale gaye, gone. So Krishne swadham upagate dharma jnana adhibhi saha. When Bhagwan goes, what else goes? Dharma, jnana, everything goes, right? Because Bhagwan is the source of dharma, jnana, adi. Adi means etc. So what is left here? Darkness, isn't it? Kalau nashta drishamesha. So esha means for the people. Kalau nashta drisha. That means now their drisha is destroyed. Can you see anything in the dark? To destroy your vision, I can do 2 things. Do you realize? One thing, I can destroy your eyes. What is the other thing I can do to destroy your vision? Turn off the lights, isn't it? What good are your eyes if there is no light? Isn't it? So that is what happened. That's why it's called Nashta Drisham. You can say, I have my eyes. Where is my eyes destroyed? No, I can see. But if it is dark, your eyes are destroyed, right? Doesn't matter if you have your eyeballs. So, Kalau Nashta Drishamesha. The vision has been destroyed in Kali Yuga because of the darkness. Why the darkness? Because there is no dharma and jnana, etc. Why there is no dharma, jnana, etc.? Because Krishna chale gaye, gone. Swadhama upagate. But Purana arko adhunodhitaha. This Purana arka means like the sun. This adhunodhitaha means it has adhuna, just now. Uditaha means it is risen. What has risen? This Purana, which is like the arka. Arka means sun. So somebody turned off the lights. But what happens? You open the window and there is bright sunlight. So in the same way, this Puran has risen. Uditaha. It is like a Puran in the form of the sun, and it will give full brightness. So that is the meaning of this verse. Are you following? So could somebody read the translation? Let's see. Prabhuji, do you have it in front of you? Could you please read the translation? Loud and clear.
This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by teaching, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance and age of Kali shall get light from this Purana.
Thank you. So this Bhagavat Purana is as brilliant as the sun. Purana Arko. So Bhagavat Purana is a literary incarnation of Krishna from the previous verse, and it is specifically meant for which age? Kali Yuga. And it is the sun. Everything, all the other lights have been turned off. This is the sun. That is why Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said, this is the sun that I want to keep. All right. And what is this? In the now we will go back to Veda base in your app. Go back to Veda base. So here on the Zoom, I will also go back to Veda base. Now go back into Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And this time go into Canto 12. Are you all in Canto 12? Go to chapter 13. We had already gone there. Go back again to chapter 13. And this time go to verse number 15. We had read verse number 13 before. All right. What was verse 13? About the Bhādra Pūrnimā. Praushtha Padyam Purnimasyam. That verse we had read. That was 13. We are going to go into 15 now. So are you all on 15? It starts with Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi. You are there? So please recite. And please recite with a mood of gratitude that in this age of Kali, we are able to recite some verses of that Purana Arka, the sun-like Purana, the topmost Purana. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate Tadrasamrita Triptasya Na Anyatra Syadrati Kvachit. So this is explaining, this verse is explaining the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The first line is very obvious. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi. This verse, He means it is. He is like a saying like it is, like you know, like that strong emphasis. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi. Yahi hai. What is it? Sarva Vedanta Saram. It is the Sar. It is the essence of all Vedanta. All the Vedic knowledge is in Bhagavatam. It is the essence. Which one? Ishyate. Which one it is? Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate. That is, He is Shri Bhagavatam. Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate. Tad Rasamrita Triptasya. One who is drinks the rasa, Rasamrita, the juice, which is like Amrita. He becomes Triptasya. He becomes fully satisfied. Tripta ho jata hai. You understand? Tripta. Then he doesn't care for anything else. Nothing is left for him to desire. All his desires are become satisfied. Na anyatra syadrati kvachit. Na anyatra. Kahin aur. Anyatra means somewhere else. Na anyatra. Nowhere else syadrati kvachit does he get any better taste. He loses taste because once you have tasted such a sweet juice, Rasamrita, everything else seems phika, tasteless, because this is so sweet. Not only it is so sweet, it is the most sweet. It is the best. So it is Sarva Vedanta Saram Bhagavatam, and it is Rasa Amrita. So could somebody read the translation? Chandrasekhar Prabhuji, can you read?
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. One who has felt satisfaction from its nectarian mellow will never be attracted to any other literature.
Yeah. It is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy, not just Vedanta, all Vedic philosophy. The entire Vedic literature, the essence is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay, now we will go into the next one. This was 15. We will go to 16. Another extremely important and beautiful verse, which shows that now it is Rasamrita. Okay, in the previous verse, we saw that it is Rasamrita. How do we know it is the topmost Rasamrita? Maybe there is some other Rasamrita which is equal or better. This verse says that it is the topmost. That means there is no other literature that is better than this. So, Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuto Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Purananam Idam Tatha. So, what is this saying? Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. Nimna Ganam means river. Nimna Ganam, one which goes down. Nimna Ganam. What flows down from the mountain to the ocean? It's called a river. So Nimna Ganam, that among those that flows down, what is the topmost? The Ganga. Devanam Achyuto Yatha. Among the Devas, the names of the Lord, the topmost name is considered to be Achyuta. There is a whole discussion behind it. We don't have time for that. But the name Achyuta is considered to be the topmost name. Among all the names, the most long-lasting name, especially for Kali Yuga. Among the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Among the devotees of the Lord, the Vaishnavas, the Vaishnava devotees. Who is the topmost? Shambhu, Shiva. In the same way, Purananam Idam Tatha. Now, Bhagavatam is not there, but Idam means this, because Bhagavatam has already been named in the previous verse. Idam. So, among all the Puranas, which is the topmost, just like the Ganga, the name Achyuta, Lord Shiva as a Vaishnava, which is the topmost Purana? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So, it is the topmost Purana. And finally, we will read one last verse before we conclude. And this is for all of us. We are all sort of the, so to say, intelligent people. When I say intelligent, means rational people. Like we question everything. Why should I do this? What's the catch? What does he want? What is the motive? We are all very, calculative people, all of us. Kali Yuga has made us like that. If we are living in some simple village where everybody, there is no cheating, there is no duplicity, no manipulativeness, saying something but something else in the heart, no transparency, then we can say that we are not so. One is, simpleton, bhola bhala, bhola bhala admi. But we are all very, in that sense, we are intelligent. I did not mean intelligent by your IQ or by your, GPA. That's not the sense I said. By our calculativeness, by our worldly mindedness. We evaluate everything. We test everything. We are very careful about everything. Is this in my profit? Is this my favor or not? Only then I will touch it. Everything is so, because we don't trust anything, we don't trust anyone. So for such people, Bhagavatam has special potency, because it can clean our heart. It can make us into simple people, bhola bhala people. They are the best. The Lord loves bhola people. He doesn't like all these manipulative, duplicate, saying something, speaking some, or saying something, thinking something, doing something else. There are three things: think something, say something else, and do something entirely different than what you said or thought, whatever. So how to access, for such people who are very rational, very calculative, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam has a special access, how to access Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam so that we can become nice, simple-hearted devotees. And we will see this from this verse. And this is verse 2 verses later, from 16 go to 18. So if you scroll down, you can click next. Again, you can click next. And you can go to verse number 18. All right. So last one we will read and recite. Did we read the translation of the previous one? No. Okay. Can we somebody read the translation of the 16th one? Let us see who has not read. Mataji, can you read? I have requested Priyanka Mataji.
Just as the Ganga as the greatest of all rivers, Lord Achyuta, the supreme among deities, and Lord Shambhu Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnavas. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the greatest of all Purans.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, now we come to 18. Let us recite the 18th verse. Now, again, I'm going to mess up the meter. I'm not an expert in this. So let me. What is the meter for this? Anybody knows? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vaishnavana Priyam. Yes. So this is the Shad Goswami Ashtakam meter. So yeah, why don't you, looks like you got it. So can you loudly recite? Yes, it is correct. No, say the whole line. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇamamalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Ekamamalam Yasmin Paramahansyam Ekamamalam Jnanam Param Giyate. Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Aviskritam. Tat Shrinvan Supathan Vicharana Paro Bhaktya Vimuchinara. Very nice. Thank you. So, yeah, I have requested Hari Parshad Prabhu sometime to give a class on meters. He's just so expert in all these reciting. So hopefully sometime he will do an exclusive session on this. So we will see. So the first line is very obvious. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇam Amalam. This Śrīmad-Bhāgavat Purāṇa is Amal. Amal means it is the topmost. This Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇam Amalam. Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. And it is the Priya. It is the, life and soul. It is so dear of the Vaishnavas. Following? So, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. Fairly straightforward. Yasmin Paramahamsyam Ekam Amalam Jnanam Param Giyate. In this Purana, Yasmin, what is glorified? What is Giyate? Giyate means it is sung or it is glorified. What is glorified? The topmost knowledge, Amalam Jnanam. So Yasmin Amalam Jnanam Param, the topmost Amalam Jnanam is Giyate, is being sung or is being glorified by whom? By the Paramahamsas of the Paramahamsas. So all the devotees of the Lord, sing the glories of the other devotees of the Lord. Is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam about the Lord? How many of you say yes? Yes. Okay. It is more about someone else. It is about the devotees of the Lord, more than the
Devotees.
Lord. Yes. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Lord takes a secondary role. Like in Oscar awards, you have best supporting actor, right? So if there was an Oscar award for Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna would get the best supporting actor role. But the best actor role or actress role would go to the devotees. The Lord takes a secondary role. Every single pastime. Even for the demons like Putana, he glorifies the demons. And definitely all the pastimes are about the devotees. Ambarish Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. So many, just the list is endless, and we did that. And Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Aviskritam. So Aviskritam means it is revealed. What all is revealed here? In this Tatra, what is revealed? Jnana Viraga Bhakti and Naishkarmyam means how to do Nishkama Karma. But the Bhakti is the topmost. Even though other things are also revealed in this, all these are revealed for various levels of people. Some people may not be ready for Bhakti. Okay, Bhagavatam will bring them to the level of Bhakti through the process of Nishkama Karma or Jnana or Vairagya. It will finally bring them to the state of or the position of Bhakti, wherever the people are. And therefore, now the last line appeals to me the most. Therefore, all of us should access the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. How? How should we access the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? There are three very key points mentioned. We all talk about Shravanam Kirtanam, right? Hear, say. But here there is a detail given of how to access Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Tat Shravana, that is definitely there. So Shravan is not discounted, but it is the first step. And again, especially for the more, calculative people, the more materialistic people, so to say. So Shravan is the first step, but the next step is Tat Shravan Su Pathan. Pathan means not only hear it, but study it. Study it like you study for a test. Right? If you just hear the professor in the lecture, you may not pass the test. You have to hear the lecture and then you have to study the book. You have to go repeat. You have to read. You have to do your exercises, all those things. Su Pathan. And then the third one, next level, is Vicharana Paro. You must do Vicharana. Paro. Paro means deep Vicharana. Vichara means contemplation. Contemplation means vichar, jaise vichar karna. Oh, this is what Bhagavatam is saying. Okay, I can pass a test. That is fine. How do I apply it in my life? That kind of contemplation. Vicharana Paro. Bhaktya Vimuchyen Naraha. If one does this, if one does these things with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Tat Shrivana, Supatana, and Vicharana Paro. So this is a very, very important key to everyone, how to read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Not just read passively. 2 days later, I asked, okay, what was read 2 days before? Forgot. Okay, that itself is good. I'm not trying to belittle that. But there is a higher level and there is yet another higher level. That is the best way of reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. 3 things: Shravana, Pathan, and Vicharana Paro. Supathan, reading with a nicely, Supathan, and Vicharana Paro, deep contemplation. Then, when a person does this, he becomes a Bhakta. A Naraha becomes a Bhakta and he becomes Vimuchyate, he becomes liberated through the path of Bhakti. Are you following? So he gets elevated from wherever he is into the path of bhakti and becomes liberated. So, Bhakti Ras Mataji, would you please read the translation?
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the spotless Purana. It is most dear to the Vaishnavas because it describes the pure and supreme knowledge of Paramhansa. This Bhagavatam reveals the means of becoming free from all material work, together with the process of transcendental knowledge, renunciation, and devotion. Anyone who seriously tries to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, who properly hears and chants its devotion, becomes completely liberated.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So we will end here. This is the ending of the discussion. So this is the importance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we discussed the situation in which the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam arose and how we should accept the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam considering we are not in such a bad situation, but that bad situation could come anytime. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam very nicely and deeply explains the supreme knowledge through various conversations between God and his devotees. We saw a sort of a very quick bird's eye view of what is there in each canto. I missed many things, but at least we touched on few things from each of the cantos. And then we saw what is the importance or the significance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is the literary incarnation, the book incarnation of Shastra Avatar of Bhagavan. And it is specially meant for which time? Kali Yuga, because the lights have been turned off, but the sun has arisen to give us the light of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And we should consider the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as the only source of knowledge. There is no other source. Anything else you may think is a light, but it is only darkness. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the true light. And it is the topmost Purana. It is a spotless Purana. There is nothing, absolutely no even one dark spot, no mistake, nothing in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is the Amala Purana. And we should study it very deeply, not passively. Then we will get the maximum benefit. So that is what we understood today. Today is Bhādra Pūrnimā, a very, very auspicious day to invite Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavatam form in the house, which is what Ashish Prabhu and Mataji, Priyanka Mataji are doing today. So that is why we have all assembled here to join them in the celebration of inviting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in their house. Thank you so much. Granth-Raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Are there any comments, questions, any corrections?
No request. If we have time, you were saying you were fond of the German story. If you can just tell a story in short.
Okay. All right. So the request is to tell the story of Ajamil in short. So I'll make it really short, shorter than short. So Ajamil, again, there'll be, when I shorten it and shorten, there'll be many things which will be missed. Okay. Ajamil was basically a very sinful person. Okay. Somehow or the other, there is a lot to be said about somehow or the other. So that can zoom into many things. But somehow or the other, he happened to name his son with the name Narayana. That is the one good thing he did. We all name our children Chintu, Pintu, Mintu, all that. But he happened to name his son Narayana. And at the last moment of his life, he called out to his son Narayana. Not because his son could come and save him. He was a little boy, like toddler, 2-3 years old. But out of love, because he was the one Ajamil loved the most. So he just called out his name in a vivash stage, vivashata purvaka, with full of what is vivash? Desperation. Not for help, but out of, again, desperation maybe for help, but desperation out of just desperate, just out of anxiety, sheer anxiety and vivashta. He called out the name Narayan. Though it had nothing to do in his consciousness, in his mind, there was no Narayan. It was just his son's name. He wasn't even sure if his son is there in the house. All right. But the moment he uttered that name, the Vishnu Dutas came, the servants of Lord Vishnu. But because he was such a sinful person, the Yamadutas had also come to take him to Yamalok. All right. And then there is a beautiful conversation between the Yamadutas and Vishnu Dutas. Yamadutas say, this is such a sinful person, we need to take him away. Vishnu Dutas say, no, you cannot. It is not yet his time. He has purchased more time. Just by uttering the 4 syllables, he has purchased more time. Narayana. Just by those syllables, many of his sinful activities have been removed. So he has purchased some more time. He has got what is called grace period. Like in vehicle, you have reserve. So he has turned the reserve knob. Now he can go some more distance. And that vivad, that discussion between the Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas is just extraordinary. You should read it. We have done class on it. It's recorded on YouTube and all that, but you can read from Bhagavatam. Many countless devotees have spoken on it. The sheer depth of the name of Bhagavan is explained. How, even if you take the name of Bhagavan, now you're making me go into detail. Because once you start speaking, then you cannot stop. That, let me show you one verse which I am so impacted by. It is in the 6th canto. So if you have Bhagavatam, open 6th canto, 2nd chapter. Yes. And 14th verse. Please open 14th verse. Are you there? Does it start with Sanketyam? So 4 things are given. Sanketyam parihasyam va, stobham helanameva va, Vaikuntha nama grahanam, asheshagha haram viduhu. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins. This is the key part. Even if he chants indirectly, Sanketyam, like even if you don't believe in God, and it is like Sanketyam, somebody, you're driving in a car with your friend and there's a nice temple of Bhagavan. You say, what is this nice building? Oh, this is building of Narayana. Okay, next, let's go to the restaurant. That Sanketyam, he just said, oh, this is building of Narayana, this one. Like a Sanketyam. Even if you say the name Narayan like that. All right? Sanketyam. Jokingly, parihasyam. अरे देखो साला नारायण बोल रहा है तो गया काम से, good for nothing. Sanketyam. No, actually that could be jokingly, even like envy or making fun of others. अरे क्या नारायण नारायण बोल रहा है, चल हटे यहाँ से, भाग यहाँ से, काम धाम नहीं है कुछ किसी को, go get a real job. So jokingly, or what would you say? Mockingly. Even then, the person who is saying this, अरे देखो नारायण Hare Krishna बोल रहा, भाग यहाँ से. He also said Hare Krishna. Parihasyam va. Or musical entertainment. Musical entertainment means stobham. We were today doing Hare Krishna, and some people were saying, listen, oh, these guys, Hare Krishna, just some music words instead of singing whatever, whatever else, what was that favorite? One of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. What is that? Whatever. So instead of that, you're singing Hare Krishna, just as some words on a tune. You have to put some words on a tune. So the main focus is on the tune, not on the words, but you still spoke words for musical and entertainment, or helanam, even neglectfully. Some way, I don't have a nice example to kind of make it, but even neglectfully. Still it is so that one who chants the holy name of the Lord is freed. Vaikuntha nama grahanam. Like this, if one takes the name of Vaikuntha or the person who lives in Vaikuntha, which is Bhagavan, Asheshagha haram viduhu. Asheshagha. Ashesha. Shesha means limited or something that has an end. Ashesha means unlimited. Agha haram. Agha haram means the sinful life is haram. Is removed. His sins, a big load of his sins is removed. This is the glory of the name. It is mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling. Now you need to have faith. Some verse he has read and he's just speaking nonsense. One can think like that. But if you read this with faith that this is truth, this is like finding a chabi, key to the treasure. Here it is available for free. Chabi. So this is the chabi of the huge treasure. So that is why this is such a pastime. And again, there are more discussions. Then the Yamadutas get confused. Arey, humne to kabhi suna hi nahi aisa. Then they go and ask their boss, Dharmaraj, who is Yamaraj, who knows the full, he is one of the 12 Mahajans. He knows the full knowledge. They go ask him, what is this? Those Vishnu Dutas came and explained me. And we never knew this. What is this? Then Yamaraj explains the same thing. Yes, I never told you because you were not mature to understand. So I told you, okay, bring all the sinful people. I am again, was I sharing on the screen? I don't know. Sorry for the Zoom people, I forgot to share. Yeah, so in the third chapter is the discussion between the Yamadutas and Yamaraj. And Yamaraj repeats the same thing. Yes, the Vishnu Dutas were right. I didn't tell you because you didn't need to know. It was all knowledge is need to know basis. So then he explains the same thing. And he says, never, next time, don't bring a person to me who has taken the name of Bhagavan. Only bring me the people who have never taken the name of Bhagavan. If they have taken the name of Bhagavan, I have nothing to do with them. Unko jaane do. There they have direct shortcut to Bhagavan. All right. So that is the glory of the name of Bhagavan. All right. So anything else? Okay, so we will conclude here. Granthraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So what we will do now, Bhoga is done or
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
And then we'll do Aarti after that.
So we will do Kirtan Aarti. So I'm going to stop the recording here. Officially the class is over. You are welcome to stay for the Kirtan Aarti, etc. if you would like, but class is officially over. And now we will do Aarti of, right now the Bhoga is going on for Bhagavatam. As we said, Bhagavatam is Bhagavan. So you can see here on the table, it is covered, of course, because we should not see the bhoga, because while the Lord is eating, we should not, see it and salivate on it. We should only do that after Bhagavan has eaten. That is why it is covered, but we have bhoga going on. After bhoga is removed and becomes prasad, then we will do arati, and then we will also enjoy the prasad. And it will go in our stomach and it will nourish us spiritually. Thank you so much. We will end the class here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we will keep the Zoom on. I'm going to just stop the recording. Hare Krishna.